Reformation Sunday is when we remember when Martin Luther nailed the 95 Theses to the Wittenberg church door, because he noticed that the Catholic Church had lost its way, piling on rituals and indulgences and penances and passing them off as the way to salvation. Luther had a vision. He had a vision of the church as followers of Jesus alone, as a people who listens to God's heart and the admonition to love God and to love everyone else. This is what he was trying to bring people's attention back to. This commissioning is also about discipleship. So in this way, Moses was commissioned by God, then commissioned, laid hands on Joshua. So in the Deuteronomy text, it says, Moses' vision, eyesight, did not dim and his strength did not abate. God brought Moses up to the mountain's crest to see what God was making ready for the people. Moses spoke with God. Moses walked with God. He followed God and was empowered by God. And Moses could see where God was going. Moses had vision. Now, Moses was not able to experience the fulfillment of that vision himself, but he knew that it would be done. So he trained up, he discipled someone to take over. Joshua, it says, was full of the spirit of wisdom. Joshua was full of the spirit of wisdom because Moses was present in his life. Because Moses walked with Joshua, showed him how to recognize God and to follow, laid hands on him. That is, he shared in communion, in the communion of God's presence, strengthened and empowered by God. You are commissioned from God, and your commission from God, God's call on your life, is not just yours alone. We live out doing church in the context of community, but still more, it's a call to discipleship. We are made of stardust and light. Our flesh is formed of the substance of God, all of us. And this is what that means. In Ephesians 3, 4 through 21, I read this a few Sundays ago as well, but it's so worth repeating. For this reason, I bow my knees before the Father, from whom every family in heaven on earth takes its name. Everybody takes their name from God, who created them. I pray that according to the riches of his glory, God may grant that you may be strengthened in your inner being with power through God's Spirit, and that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, as you are being rooted and grounded in love. Rooted and grounded in love. I pray that you may have the power to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, so that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. Now, to the one who by the power at work within us is able to accomplish abundantly far more than we can even imagine. To this God be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus to all generations, forever and ever. Amen. And how is that to happen? To go from generation to generation if we do not disciple others before us, coming behind us. I love this from the St. Thomas Music Group. They sing this Mysterium Amoris by Margaret Ritzer. It's beautiful, and it'll be played at the end. But it says, what they sing is from this verse. Just as the roots of trees hold firm in the soil, so it is the roots of love that hold the ground of our being. We stand on solid ground that doesn't shift because of the roots of love. It is in this way that in Matthew, Jesus responds to the Hebrew law question and shifts from command, what's the greatest command, to commission. We are commissioned to love God with everything, our whole being, and to love everyone else. That's simple. It covers the entirety of the law and the prophets. It goes beyond even what we perceive as the natural progression of lineage, even in the next part of what Jesus was saying. The Lord said to my Lord, he's quoting David, the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I put your enemies under your feet. If David thus calls him Lord, how can he be his son? You see, when we behave as if we think that the world is a giant clock, that we are merely on this rotating planet that rotates around the sun, whose system revolves around the Milky Way, which is being pushed around inside our cosmic supercluster Laniakea. Didn't know if you knew that. Apparently it's way more complicated than that, but you get the idea. It's just revolving stuff over time. But we have this sense of determinism, of inevitability, that things are inevitable. And it's so helpfully explained by Newton in his physics. And the compulsion to see, we have this compulsion to see hierarchies in things, of social relations and institutional structures. And so, with such rigid ideas of how the universe behaves, one spin equals 1 day, one orbit is 1 year, one rotation of the galaxy around the Milky Way is a mere 220 to 250 million years or so. But there's so much more to this whole thing. Gravity is the biggest factor, but energy's pulling and pushing, because there's countless other clusters and galaxies out there. Black holes and clumps of matter, along with the push and pull of the gravitational attractions and voids. Amazing. And God contains it all. God breathed, and the universe happened, and continues to happen within God, who never changes. You and I live and move and have our being in all of this. So to God, today, for me, is. It just is. In this moment, I am. I exist. And so it is right now to God that my parents, celebrating their 14th wedding anniversary 2 weeks before my father's tragic accident, it exists right now in God. Because God's above and beyond all of this. And so it is right now to God, in God, the day that Moses stood on Mount Nebo overlooking the promised land. And so it is right now to God, already November 4th, and the presidential election results are in. God knows. God have mercy. We want it to be done. What Jesus did for us was to free us from this deterministic idea of life. What Jesus did for us was to free us to see God, to not only look from the mountaintop and view a promised land, but to go there and to live in it now, and to share this freedom with others. What Jesus did for us, completely separating from God's self and fill every space, including chronological time, so that we can know that there is nowhere we can go that love is not there. When everything seems so out of control, we naturally want to try to control something. Anything. Everything. And so when we look to God for help, for intervention, for the supporting hypothesis is that God is in control. But the thing about love is that love does not control. And God is love. Even in Deuteronomy 6, where the greatest command is first recorded, the word is Shema, which I have on my wrist to remind me of this all the time. Shema, which means hear, listen. In fact, there is no verb in biblical Hebrew that means to obey. I know. Instead, listen, notice, focus, and pay attention. Absorb it into our very being, and then be that. Israel's is not a faith that values blind, unthinking, unquestioning obedience. It sounds like a command. Listen up. Love God. And love everyone else. Yet the exhortation is to hear it, to listen, like really. This is everything. This is everything. All of it is summed up in this. All of the law and everything the prophets uttered, the universe, every atom and quark, stardust and light, is summed up in this. Love God with everything and love everyone else. James Howell says this about Madeleine L'Engle. Over a long weekend waiting on biopsy results for her husband, kept praying, don't let it be cancer. Some friend told her, you can't pray that. It already is or isn't cancer. And her thoughts on this? I can't live with that. I think the heart overrides the intellect and insists on praying. If we don't pray according to the needs of the heart, we repress our deepest longings. And so I pray as my heart needs to pray. Later, after the cancer was pronounced terminal, she wondered if her prayers had been wasted, but she concluded rightly. She said, prayer is love, and love is never wasted. Surely the prayers have sustained me and are sustaining me. Surely there is someone in your life who needs to think of love for their own, needs to understand this great love. Love God with everything and love everyone else is a commission to hear, to listen into that reality of God in whom we are. Everything contained, existing within it, to live into the reality that we cannot control anything. Not even our own kids. But we can love. And we can show others what that looks like. And then walk with them into understanding this more fully. And then laying hands on them, sharing the energy, the power of it, the gravitational pulls and pushes of clusters of matter, of love. What does it mean to be rooted and grounded in love, do you think? Do you feel rooted and grounded in love today? Hear, O people, love God with everything and love everyone else. God commissions us to envision this promised land, the kingdom of God, on earth as it is in heaven now. And to do something about living into that reality. And for heaven's sake, bring someone along with you. So who is the Joshua in your life? Luther had a vision for a better way of doing church. What's our vision for our church? Maybe it's Halloween. Something on Halloween. God commissions us